All right. I want to talk about the 5 biggest storylines of the summer here. But you can't get to number 2 without number 1. It's the lowest hanging fruit of the summer. It's the quarterback competition. And it's a first-round quarterback, the 12th overall pick, second highest QB drafted in the history of the Broncos. And what we believe, at least initially, is going to be a 3-way competition. Which, Phil,
3 ways.
Man, I don't think this is healthy for the team if they continue this way past like
First week.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to see it the first week, but if you're going to do it the first week, I don't love it. But Sean Payton has got to tidy this thing up, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, Zach, you're right. This 3-way deal right now, right? If we're in college, I could see that happening. I've seen it before. But we're in the NFL, man. Jobs are on the line. People want to win. These are grown men. If you're not cutting it, you're just not cutting it. And you've seen enough, all right? You've seen enough from Zach Wilson to say, okay, I don't know if he's in the race for the starting job week 1.
Right.
Now, does Zach Wilson have talent? Yes. Is Zach Wilson a name that we should be looking out for? For sure. He's on the team. There's a reason why he's on the team. Maybe he turns things around and he looks great in camp.
Yeah.
All right?
Still possible.
It's very possible. But I think this is a 2-way horse race between Jarrett Stidham and the rookie, okay, Bo Nix. I don't think we need 3 quarterbacks to justify that, hey, maybe this third one can win the job too. No, stop playing these games. I'm okay with Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix battling, but the Zach Wilson situation right now, it's just there's no reason for it.
Yeah, I think everyone loses if you're doing a 3-way competition. Even again, for more than a week, I think everyone loses. I think the skill position players lose with their timing. I think the offensive line loses with not building continuity and rhythm with the intended starter, or at least narrowing it down to 2. And I don't think it's healthy for Bo Nix. And all due respect to Jarrett Stidham and Zach Wilson, I am far more concerned.
They tread lightly
about everything Bo Nix. More than any of those other 2 guys on draft night, the Broncos pick their path. And if they deviate from the path too often, don't be surprised if you end up lost because you deviated from that path.
Now, you're saying that if they deviate because of the 3-way battle?
Yes.
So what if it's just Jarrett Stidham and Bo? Is there a way for the Denver Broncos to still deviate through that situation?
I think so. I think you get far enough into camp and it becomes unhealthy. A competition at that position uniquely, I think, becomes unhealthy.
See, Zach, you're still stuck in this society today where everybody gets a trophy.
No.
You don't want competition.
No. I do.
You want pretend competition. You want competition to look like it's going on, but in the back room, they're like, well, we're just going to give it to Bo no matter what happens. That can't happen. I need Bo to go out there and earn it. I want Bo to be our starting quarterback because if Bo's our starting quarterback week 1, that means that Sean Payton got it right and that we can all breathe easy knowing that Bo Nix is the right one for us because we're in camp watching this young man throw dimes, watching this young man command the huddle, watching this young man become a superstar, hopefully as time goes on. But you just want to give it to my man.
I want to begin with the end in mind. I want to begin with the end in mind. And so
we have some proverbs right now? Like what?
Like if you plan on Bo Nix being a franchise quarterback, I'm not saying scheme up the lights so they're all green for him. I'm certainly not. And I
Sounds
don't
like it.
I don't want to see it like that. I really don't. He's gonna have to go earn it. He's gonna have to earn it. He is.
How?
Doing the stuff that you said. Having a command of the huddle, having a command of the offense, being the processor that we heard so much about, being the fit with Sean Payton that we've heard so much about from Sean. And if those things are true, like Sean says, things will kind of take care of themselves, which is a quote he had, and I hope so. Phil, if he's inept and he's got 2 left feet, then we got bigger problems, man. But if while you can give him some advantages to try to not even microwave the development, but just have a normal path of development, I'd like to see the first rounder with the starters for most of camp. I don't think that's a hot take.
Look, I don't think that you're not going to see Bo Nix with the starters. Bo Nix is going to be with the starters majority of the time, but he's going to be sharing time. I don't think it's going to be a 3-way race with Zach Wilson. I think that's just smoke. Okay, maybe for the first 2 days.
Okay.
But I don't see it going on a whole week. Zach, that's valuable time, like you said.
It is.
It is.
How many weeks are training camp? It's a month?
No, truly, it is. And that's with days off built into it. And so I don't think we're going to see that. But the Jarrett Stidham smoke, that's real.
It could be.
And if Jarrett Stidham goes out there and plays well and shows us something that we haven't seen, and that's taking chances as well as being smart, he could possibly win the job week 1. All right, and that's not necessarily bad on Bo's part. He's a rookie.
Sure.
Even though everybody's like, oh, he's older. You're still in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay, it's different than college. And he's going to take some time where it's going to be a little different for him. He's going to take some steps back before you start to see a lot of the results going the right way for Bo Nix. But just giving it to him on a silver platter, that can't happen because he will lose the locker room like that.
At what point to you, as someone who had been out there for 5 training camps with different organizations, with different quarterbacks, at what point for you would you like to see a guy picked? Whether it's, even if it's Stidham, like at what point, I'm trying to ask, at what point does the splitting of the reps become unhealthy for anyone?
I mean, I think that you're going to see somebody picked by week 2 of preseason.
Okay, week 2 of preseason.
Week 2 of preseason. Okay. All right, but as a player, you start to see things the second week of camp because you're starting to see, okay, Bo Nix is smart. Bo Nix is making the right decisions. Bo Nix is not throwing interceptions. He's commanding the huddle. Zach, when I say command the huddle, when he gets inside that huddle, okay, everybody's eyes are on him because we know that, he knows what he's talking about, and he's serious about it, and that he knows what needs to be done for this play. And if he's in there, in that huddle, okay, like Drew Lock was at the beginning of his rookie year, where it's like he gets in the huddle, he's fumbling over his words, he's not telling everybody the whole entire play, okay, because he's new, he's a rookie, it's hard to believe that, right? It's hard to say, okay, let's get with this.
Yeah.
If Bo Nix can do the opposite right away, then he's going to start to win over his teammates.
Yeah.
But if he does not do that and he struggles, which he is going to struggle, he is a rookie. That's what happens.
Sure.
Okay? By day 4, when you start to implement more of the plays, you're going to start forgetting plays. You're going to start forgetting signals. But can he stay consistent enough to where it's like, I can beat up Jarrett Stidham, and that's going to be the thing. I don't want to just hand him the keys. Zach.
Well, that's where I believe Bo is really going to shine.
Okay.
When they start to put more on the plates of each guy. And I think Stidham will be fine at it. I think Zach Wilson will be an afterthought once we get midway through camp. I think he'll be the third, like unequivocal third string quarterback, I think. But we've seen crazier stuff. I mean, Zach's got the most real-world experience by a country mile.
Yep.
So, this is what happens when and I got to pick my words carefully with you, Phil, because you're going to accuse me of wanting to,
you want to put bubble wrap on Bo Nix, we know.
No. I want the bubble wrap off him, and I'm ready for the scars. Start accumulating the experiences. But what if Zach Wilson does go out there and play well? What if Zach Wilson in the first preseason? Dude, it is July 22nd, okay? First preseason game is in about 3 weeks against the Colts on the road, Sunday, August 11th. What if Zach Wilson goes out there and balls? Like or what if Stidham and Bo kind of fall on their face here? Like the bullets are going to start flying. Like when we're at mandatory minicamp or OTAs, we are where our feet are, so we're reacting. Yeah. But training camp makes that look like child's play, and so I would say training camp and joint practices and preseason games account for 90% of the offseason compared to minicamp and OTAs.
But this is what I would say to that, because it sounds like a lot of concern right now. Like the what if factors come in, which is reasonable. Like there's things that are going to happen. Zach Wilson could go out there and tear things up. Okay, Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham could land on their face, right? They're human beings. But we sound like that's a bad thing. We need somebody to emerge.
Sure.
You know, although it may not be Bo Nix right away, we need somebody that can take over the reins week 1, all right, where we can hopefully find a way to win in Seattle.
Yeah.
Because the name of the game is win. I know you want to see Bo Nix. We all do. All right. But this isn't Bo Nix, the Denver Broncos.
Right.
This is the Denver Broncos, and we're fans. And we hope that Bo Nix tags along long enough to where he says, okay, I want to be the franchise quarterback. He has to want it. We can't want it for the young man.
Sure. And I have no doubt all these guys are going to have the desire to. I can kind of summarize my thoughts this way. I don't want to give pushback on competition. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. it's a meritocracy. May the best man win in order to elevate the Broncos operation, to your point, because it's not the Denver Bows, it's not the Denver Wilsons, the Denver Stidhams, it's the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
But if you hear concern in my voice the week of training camp starting, it comes from a place where I think we could have a lack of clarity in Denver. And I think a lack of clarity could hurt this football operation.
But does anybody have clarity? Okay? Because this is football.
Do they have clarity in Washington with Jaden Daniels?
Until something happens. There's no clarity. There's only a starting point. We know Jaden Daniels is going to be the starter. But then week 2, something happens to him and he's not playing anymore. Where's the clarity at now? So I think this is good for the Denver Broncos because now you're getting the best out of everybody. Because if something does happen to Bo later on, we can still rely on Jarrett Stidham or Zach Wilson. Okay, we can't just sit here and accept okay, Bo Nix is the guy. That's our clarity because things happen fast in the league. So you have to have a plan. Your plan B needs to be your plan A. Now I understand you want to start off with Bo Nix. You want a little bit of clarity saying Bo Nix is going to be our guy. We're going to roll with him.
Yeah, and if he's going to fail, let's see it.
But he has to show us during camp that he is the guy for the job for him to go out there and fail enough. Because if he is not ready, and I keep saying it, I feel like a broken record, Sean Payton is not willing to risk his career, and what he has done for a young man that's not ready to be out there.
Phil, I think he already might have. This is his hand-picked guy.
It is.
That they went weeks before the draft and told Condoleezza Rice, we're picking Bo Nix. He's our guy. This is the franchise quarterback. And so, it's a nuanced conversation, and ultimately the results are going to dictate. Because if Bo sucks in camp, I'm going to come in here and say Bo sucks in camp.
I don't know if you will.
I'm here to tell you.
If both those 3 interceptions, you come here and say he played great, I'm getting my belt out.
Phil,
you're going over my knee.
Hey, that is agenda radio, and we're just not doing it. I know I'm not doing it, and never have. So if he comes out there and struggles, we're going to be reporting. We're going to come from camp and take a shower and get lunch and come right in here and report to our audience. And we're going to keep it real because at the end of the day, when you keep it real, you don't have 2 different versions of stuff to remember or a different score sheet. We're just going to keep it real. So here we go, man. I can't wait. Let me ask you this. So quarterbacks aside, because we're all interested in the quarterback. Where will the next spot that your eyes go this Friday?
You know me. I'm biased. You know me. I feel like the running back's the most important position on the field. Right?
Uh-oh. It's going to be a long summer.
Look, exactly. Look what they're trying to do to us. They don't want to pay us, okay? My man TD got in an incident that, is crazy.
I know.
They just don't like us.
Those bracelets on, man.
Like what?
What?
I know. Like, come on, man. What?
That was a wacky out of left field story, wasn't it?
That was, man. I feel sorry for his family and him having to go through that. But it probably will be the running back position because you have people speculating that Javonte Williams will not be on this team. Okay, opinions are out there that he's battling for his career. All right, you have Jaleel that he's done some great things, but everybody just has him penciled in. You would think Jaleel's the starter right now, which is great, but it's just crazy because he was undrafted last year. Nobody knew nothing about Jaleel, and now he's maybe our starting running back.
Maybe.
They have him penciled in as he's for sure making the team. And so
Do you believe that, by the way?
I think he's for sure going to make the team unless he gets hurt. You know, he'll for sure be on the team. He's cheap and he's explosive. He's the most explosive running back we have.
Yep.
And he possibly is going to be our starting running back if he can stay healthy. But I just think there's so much going out there. Audric Estime, Mr. Blake Watson.
Yep, Mr. Watson.
I think he's starting off on the injured list.
Yeah.
He kind of got hurt during some off-season workouts. And so that's going to be an interesting group because you're going to need a committee. All right, it's not going to just be one running back. They go down so fast.
Yep.
But I'm interested to see with this Javonte smoke and him, battling to even be on the team, which I think is rubbish.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I think Javonte's going to be here to stay.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's going to be on the team. He would have to really, really not look the part, which is going to be hard to do because how much tackling are they doing in training camp practices? It's basically zero.
None.
You're going to see more physicality in joint practices and certainly in preseason games. But I like, and you said this in hour number 1. We had a really brief conversation about it. The strength of his game is not going to be seen until it's full go-go.
Yeah.
And we're just not going to see that a lot this preseason. So,
what position battle for you? What are you looking at?
Well, honestly, my eyes would go to the running backs. I think that is definitely a noteworthy positional battle. That's like if we're saying the quarterback room is a triple threat match, if I were to stay with the wrestling analogies, the running back room is like a Royal Rumble. I mean, because there are multiple guys that you could kind of fairly forecast, like, man, if things break right for him, he could make the team. If things break right for that guy, he could make the team. And then how many running backs are they keeping? Is it going to be 3 or 4? So just don't know. So that's going to be high on the list. But also, who emerges in the secondary? A lot of questions for me at the safety spot.
Yeah.
Caden Stearns sounds like he's going to start the season on the PUP list.
Yep.
Physically unable to perform. That's not ideal. It sounds like Delaren Turner-Yell, same thing. And man, I do not want to sit here and minimize the Justin Simmons factor that I think over the years we kind of took for granted. I remember what it looked like when he wasn't out there. And it was a very, very ugly.
I'm kind of excited, man. I'm kind of excited for this one. Justin was great, Zach, but Justin was a different type of safety. All right, I think this year you have to take Justin out of your head because he's not here anymore. And the way that he did things was different than now. You're having these safeties, and I think it's going to be P.J. Locke, and I think it's going to be Brandon Jones.
Yep.
Right? And I think what you're going to get from these two is they have nothing to lose. They're trying to win it all. They're trying to make a name for themselves. All right. On top of that, they fly around. They hit hard. This is going to be a physical group that I think is honestly an upgrade because it's young talent, and it's hard to say that.
Phil, be careful.
And I'm not saying an upgrade is like Jay was good. Jay was really, really good. But Jay is getting older.
Yeah. And
Jay is moving on to somewhere else so that he can hopefully win a Super Bowl. We're talking about now with the youth, these young players, and you want players that fit the mold, that are willing to run through a whole entire wall for you.
Sure.
And these are what these young men are going to do for you because they don't know any better, right?
I believe that.
I think that's what you're going to get out of it. Now, the interceptions are going to kind of probably go down because Justin was
he's a ball
crazy
hawk,
when it came to that.
Yep.
But you're going to see a physical aspect with these players. Brandon Jones, P.J. Locke. It's going to be fresh, right? They're excited. They get a chance to start this year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that play out.
Man, I just wanted us to put this in our back pocket. You talk about a position group that cannot have an injury this summer. It's that group. Because camp hasn't even arrived yet, and you're already in a deficit from a health standpoint in that room, which already has questions abound. Like this time last year, it's Kareem Jackson and Justin Simmons. So it's going to be a whole new group, and I think that certain things of what you said, I think, are going to come true when you got these younger guys who are flying around and just so hungry. But there could be a lack of acumen, and that lack of experience could show itself. And so, again, I'm not like going into camp concerned. I'm wildly intrigued, like you. But it's like, what's in this box of chocolates?
Well, it's just not the norm anywhere. We used to go out there, and like you said, there were players out there that you knew were going to make the team. That was their spot.
Correct.
Justin was one of them. You knew that Justin was going to be there, but now he's not there. Now it's exciting because it's like, who is going to emerge as a starter?
Yep.
Everything is out there for those young men to go out there and take it. Now it's for them to do it. It's for them to go out there and make a name for themselves.
Yeah. Who emerges as wide receivers?
Ooh, that's going to be a tough one now.
It really is because there's outside of Sutton, which are we sure Sutton's going to be there this week? I mean, I want to circle back and have that conversation a little bit more wholesale, but we still don't know the answer to that question.
Ooh-wee.
So we'll table that for a couple minutes. We'll table that for a couple minutes.
That's a good one.
But who emerges out of that room? You got Marvin Mims there. You got Josh Reynolds there. Tim Patrick, he's not going down without a fight. Troy Franklin, Bo Nix's favorite target at Oregon, who the Broncos moved up for. Lil Jordan Humphrey looked really good in points at the end of last season, the more opportunities he got. Devon Vele, the late-round pick out of Utah.
Well, this is the question. Who do you want to emerge? Because I have an odd suspicion that I know who's going to emerge, and it's going to be Tim Patrick. This is built for him. Right?
Why do you say that?
His back is against the wall. My man had to give up all his money. He's playing for vet minimum. He's been hurt for 2 years. People have been talking down about him for 2 years because he can't stay healthy. Okay, with injuries, he can't control.
Yep.
If he can stay healthy, okay, mentally, Tim Patrick is that guy. Guys, when I was with the Denver Broncos, my rookie year was me and Tim Patrick, and we were trying to make the team. All right? Tim Patrick, we were in a practice against the Chicago Bears, a joint practice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember this.
And we were doing a special teams gunner, which that's the man's man right there. The gunners, if you're not tough, you're not going to be a gunner. Well, you have 2 people versus 1. Tim Patrick's sitting there going against 2 people. He ends up beating both the guys. They get mad. The next 2 go. Tim Patrick steps right back in front of the line, does it again. They get mad. Tim Patrick steps in front of the line again. This man is tired, and he's beating the whole entire Chicago Bears team, okay? Because he had nothing to lose. He had everything to gain. His back was against the wall. He's trying to make the team. If we get that same Tim Patrick that knows that his back is against the wall and that he doesn't have the money for security, it's going to be scary. If that man can stay healthy, we're going to be coming in here saying Tim Patrick is making the team for sure.
Man, oh man, that's a fun conversation right there. A healthy Tim Patrick, where would he fit in? I'm nervous. I'll be holding my breath out there for Tim Patrick. The first couple of days of camp have been a nightmare for him in consecutive years. And because I remember how I felt, because I was about 100 yards away, and I watched his knee wiggle that first year. And then he was right in front of me as that Achilles popped. And I just, man.
You're not going to camp. You're not going. Obviously, it
wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
But his professional mortality can be felt right now.
Yeah.
Because he's not playing to make the Broncos. He's playing to stay in the NFL.
Yeah.
So that is going to be fascinating.